NCERT Physics Class 11, 6th chapter, which is Work Power Energy, question number 6.3. So, in given figure 6.11 are example of some potential energy function in one dimension. The total energy of the is indicated by a cross on the ordinate axis. In each case, specify the region in which the particle cannot be found, and we are supposed to find the minimum total energy. So, the minimum total energy of the particle will take place, as we can say that total energy, let's say total energy is represented by E, and total energy can be written as summation of kinetic energy and potential energy. So for E minimum, kinetic energy is minimum. At the minimum value of kinetic energy is 0. So E minimum when particle at rest. Total energy will be minimum when particle is at rest. And if particle is at rest, it can be seen that kinetic energy is equal to 0. So E minimum can be written as equal to potential energy. In case of E minimum, the minimum value of energy is equal to potential energy. So different curves are given, and we are supposed to find out that in which the particle cannot be bound. Another thing which can we see that from this is that, as we all know, the kinetic energy is greater than equal to 0. It is either positive or 0. So from this we can say that kinetic energy is positive only when potential energy is less than total energy. So for the graph to be valid, potential energy should be less than equal to total energy. As potential energy, as kinetic energy can be written as total energy minus potential energy. And we all know that kinetic energy is greater than equal to 0, and for this condition to happen, potential energy should be less than total energy. Now moving to first part, let's say this is first part, this is second part, this is third, and this is fourth. Moving to first part, we can say that in this, the total energy of the particle is less than potential energy. From x equal to a to x equal to infinity, the total energy is less than potential energy, so this is not valid. So in this, particle can exist for one. If we talk about first part, so particle in order to existence of particle, the total energy should be greater than potential energy, or potential energy should be less than total energy. So the particle exists in region in which potential energy is less than total energy. The potential energy is less than total energy only in the region if 4x less than a. Second part. In the second part, we are supposed to find out in which region the particle can exist. So in order for existence of particle, the total energy, that is this part, should be greater than potential energy. But as this diagram, we can say that in the complete region, the potential energy is greater than total energy. But for condition, potential energy should be less than total energy. But in this case, the total energy is less than potential energy. So there exists no x on the x-axis for which the particle can exist. So no value of x. For which particle can exist. Moving to third part, which is in this situation. So in this situation, condition existence of motion is that potential energy should be less than total energy. So this is total energy. The given is total energy, and this should be less than potential energy. So in the region from x equal to a to x equal to b, we can say that potential energy is less than total energy. So the particle exists from a to b. Particle exists from x equal to a to x equal to b. And in this case, we can say that the potential energy minimum is equal to total energy minimum. For total energy minimum, kinetic energy is 0 and the potential energy minimum, which is equal to minus of V1. So we can take the magnitude of it. So total energy is equal to minus of V1 and magnitude is V1. Part 4. In this region, we are supposed to find the region in which the potential energy is less than total energy. So in this region, the potential energy is less than total energy. In this region, the potential energy is less than total energy. And in this region, the potential energy is less than total energy. So from x equal to, the condition is that x should be less than minus b by 2 and greater than minus infinity, and from x less than a by 2 greater than minus a by 2, and for x less than infinity and greater than b by 2 particle exist. As minus infinity to b by 2, potential energy less than total energy, existence of particle take place. From minus a by 2 to a by 2, potential energy less than total energy, existence take place. And from b by 2 to infinity, potential energy is less than total energy, existence take place. And in order to find the value of total energy minimum, which is equal to minus of V1, which is potential energy minimum.